What's our next line?
Oh yeah, Jason Potts hot.
It's the kissing scene. Well, okay then. Hello everyone, welcome to Tokunommentaries. I'm Austin.
And I'm Christian.
And today we're talking about Godzilla Raids Again.
Yes.
A movie.
I think it's a really underrated Godzilla movie. I think a lot of people generally don't like it, but I think it's really fun.
I think it is an overliked movie. You should quit that.
Folks, it's been 15 seconds.
Well, let's get into it a little bit.
I hate you.
I think it's number score
I feel like I'm under attack.
If you're new here, thank you so much for checking us out.
Yes, thank you.
Patreon.com/Tokunommentaries, where you can see the commentary tracks for this and all of the Godzilla Monsterverse movies, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Tokusatsu Gagaga, and King Ocher, and Kamen Rider Geats, along with many others.
I thought you weren't going to go into it. I thought you were going to just be like, our other commentary tracks, and then stop it there. And I was like, what?
I'm going to do that, like, after summer. After we have 6 months in and we have, like, 12 podcasts.
No, I think it's funny if you just continue to say every single commentary.
Just that's the running bit.
It's like 30 minutes of me doing tracks.
You could probably just skip the first 30 minutes of our podcast within, like, a year.
Yeah.
It's just going to be talking about the things we've done.
And if you join the Kaiju tier, you get access to a free commentary track every single month. Mm-hmm. So far, we've done Pacific Rim Uprising, and Rodan. Which is the worst thing we've seen.
That's not true.
It is.
But more to come. More bad things to come.
I'm dead inside.
You're having a hard time with these Showa movies, huh?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Join the Discord.
Yes, please do. Tell us how wrong Austin is.
Yeah. Well, it's on the link in the description below. You can come hang out, talk about all things Tokusatsu, all things non-Tokusatsu. Tell me how Christian's got depression.
Beautiful eyes.
You do have really pretty eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So do you.
Thank you.
I'm ugly.
That's not true.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
At least he's proud. That's all that matters.
Other than that, here's a little clip from Godzilla Raids Again to show you what you can get in on the Patreon.
Like, oh, no way! You came here too! Sick!
Suck that, suck it harder. It is a little goofy.
If you ever want to see two hand puppets fight each other, it's this movie.
Do you do the...
I usually do like this, but this time I did more of like an explosion.
But do you like keep that in the pod?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go, ooh, and then it plays.
Okay. So,
Pretty
other than
good,
that...
Pretty good movie. I liked it.
Your eyes are really ugly. You know?
What is it, Austin? Stop playing with my emotions like this. So sad.
Other than that, thank you so much for checking us out.
Yes,
Please like, comment, subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
See more of the commentary tracks and a podcast coming up. We're going to be doing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2.
Yes.
We have an Ultraman show coming up. We have an Ultraman movie coming up. We got other stuff.
Other things in the works.
Honestly, I'm excited for October. That's probably what I'm looking
October
for.
is going to be a fun month.
Yeah.
It's our next big deal.
Yeah,
month.
I'm very excited for October.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, yeah, I want to get into it.
Yeah, we can get into the movie review. I think this is going to be like a kind of 2-part episode.
Jesus, sorry.
Where we're talking about...
I kicked the light.
We're talking about Godzilla Raids Again first. And then we're going to go into some...
Con stuff.
And
another thing.
Summer.
Yeah. Real quick. We have a new setup. Kind of. Where are you going?
To fix the light?
You look stupid. You look
Paint me like one of your French girls.
I swear to
He
God.
is laying on the ground in front of the camera. Say hi, Finn.
Hi.
Okay.
Anyways, so we have a new setup. We're just doing this.
We're kind of testing something out.
We're just testing it.
Yeah.
If you like it, say it. If you don't like it, say it.
Just give them your honest opinion.
Please do.
If you want to see the side profile, if you want to see more long nose content, let me know.
See his long, big old schnoz.
Yeah.
Or subscribe to the Patreon so we can afford more cameras.
Ooh.
Yo, there we go. Then we can have different views all the time.
Yeah, we can pay Finn.
And we could pay Finn.
We pay him in
Gamer subs.
Jelly beans.
That needs to be cut.
I don't know if you can say that.
Yeah, you gotta come back. Here, I'll go back to it. Hold on a second. Hey, Christian, cut that last like 3 minutes, please.
I'm here. I can.
Okay, sorry. Future Christian. Cut the last part out and the part before that out, alright? Alright, we're coming back. You
Just
guys
cut
ready?
it whenever we say we can pay Finn.
Oh, alright, here we go. Other than that, thank you guys so much for checking this out.
Yes, thank you.
Let's talk about the movie.
Yeah. The second Godzilla movie came out in 1956.
It was almost 70 years ago.
Yeah. Or 55? 55, sorry, my bad. 55. Rodan came out in 56, that's what I was thinking of.
Even more
1955.
closer to 70 years ago.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. For 70 years ago. I liked it. Okay, so my favorite thing about this movie, right? And we're kind of going out of order here, but like the unique thing about this movie is the monster fights. This is the first pseudomation monster fight in any movie. If you can see our little guys here, I don't have any bigger Godzilla toys for this movie, but you're distracting me.
Be professional.
This is the first pseudomation fight that I can think of in history. So they definitely were testing the waters. And in future Godzilla movies and future pseudomation monster fights, it's kind of more of like a WWE wrestling match.
Yeah, then
Like,
this certainly was.
This was like
Not
two
that.
animals fighting.
It really was just like two dudes coming at each other. There's just like,
Die.
your mom's gay. Let me suck your cock. And Gears was in his.
Anguirus was in Godzilla's pubic region.
He
most
was-
of the movie.
You could say his like cooch. It's alright. I'm pretty sure that's okay.
I'm pretty
Is
sure
that not
that's
allowed?
fine.
Probably not.
Can we say cooch?
No.
Christian, let's check and see if cooch is legal on YouTube.
I don't
Yes,
think
it
it
is.
is.
Why would it not be?
There are several things that I get on. There's a list of things you can't say on YouTube if you want to get monetized.
I don't think cooch is one of them. Are we gonna get monetized?
Eventually you can.
No.
Have you seen us? Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Half of our jokes are us sucking each other's dicks off.
It's not even jokes. It's just. It's not, that's just. Our commentary tracks are just an excuse for us to.
Alright, we're gonna clap us back in.
So, yeah, this movie is. It certainly is a film. It was an hour and 22 minutes of film.
Yes, it was. That's accurate. Let's give it a number score real quick. While we're on the subject of how we like this movie.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, 3
5
out of 10. I mean, I can't believe you're so low on it. Honestly.
Okay, I really like it, but I do think it definitely has issues. I do like the monster fight. I think it is unique and fun. It is like compared to other monsters.
I
call
think
it
it's
boring.
I think it's certainly unique.
It is unique, and that's what I appreciate about it.
Mhm.
I do think the climax of the movie was a little bit underwhelming.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's not very good for a climax to be anticlimactic.
No, that's in fact the complete opposite of what a climax is supposed to be.
You certainly are a reviewer and a critic. Fuck.
Well, let's get into the play-by-play.
Do we have to?
Yeah. So, the movie opens up with two. I'm not sure what their job title's called, but two pilots who fly around looking for schools of fish and radioing to the fishing boats where to go.
Here, we're gonna put pilot 1
Pilot 1
and pilot 2.
and Pilot 2. We are horrible with names.
This one is the main one.
Main character.
This one, he dies. Anyways.
Oh, spoilers. What if they want to watch the
Oh
movie?
my god, I don't fucking care.
Oh my god.
Spoilers for a 70-year-old movie.
Spoilers for a 70-year-old goddamn movie.
And it's also like your entire podcast isn't spoiling the
Well,
movies.
We didn't say spoiler warning. What if they hadn't seen it yet?
Oh my god, it's been 70 years. If they want to see it, they would see it. If they didn't, if they were expecting, like, my mind has been open after seeing this movie.
I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Because it was bad. No, okay, all right.
I don't think out of 10 is not that bad.
We're introduced to people who are speaking dialogue lines.
You like them. The first half of the movie, you were like, I like these characters. I connect with them. I like how they're getting character moments.
The blowjob was nice. Afterwards, it was just...
Oh, I remember that part.
Cut that whole part out. Anyways. So, like, listen. It's just... I just, like... Okay, you're right. Once we get into, like, we're introduced to these characters.
Yeah.
Okay, these two pilots. And we're introduced to main girl character, who
Girl
is this one.
Yes.
Girl 1, pilot 1.
They're
together.
engaged.
They're engaged?
Yeah, they have a wedding. They were gonna have a wedding, and then Godzilla attacked. It was a one-off line.
Oh, okay, sure. Honestly, okay.
Yeah, they're engaged.
And then they have like cute dialogue.
They
moments.
do, and they dance together.
They dance. And look, I'm not saying those were bad scenes. I'm not. I'm saying those were good moments. And there was like. It feels like the first half of this movie had a great idea for a premise. It feels like when this movie like came out, right? This came after Godzilla 1954. Mm-hmm. It was a critical success of a movie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I bet this movie went into production almost immediately after.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay? I feel like this movie was dummy rushed in production because it feels like whoever was writing it had a great idea for a first half of this movie, and then the moment they were like, shit, we have like 40 more minutes of this movie to do, or 20 more minutes to do. Fuck.
Yeah.
What do we do? I don't know. Fuck it.
After the big monster fight, it really just like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the issue is that like it nosedives into boredom. It's not even bad. It's just boring.
Nothing happens. Yeah, nothing really happens in the last 40 minutes of the movie.
Which is something we should talk about.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Go on. Sorry, I love you.
That's okay. I love you more. So then we get introduced to the monsters pretty early on. Like as far as Godzilla movies go, that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, it was like in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, one of the pilots' engine stalls, and he has to do an emergency landing next to an island. And on that island is Anguirus and Godzilla. And Anguirus being the first, what are you gonna do?
I love you.
Oh, I love you more, Godzilla.
No, Christian, it's me.
It's me, Austin.
It's me.
God, we're so stupid.
Sorry.
Anguirus being the first other Godzilla monster.
It is, and
how cool is that? Look at this little guy. He's the first one.
And honestly, he's fine.
I like him. He's such a spiky dinosaur.
Yeah,
I love it.
Totally fine.
He's a fire-breathing dinosaur. It makes sense.
He's not one of my favorites, but he's not.
He's classic.
Yeah.
Classic boy.
He's definitely no Rodan.
I mean, is it better or worse than Rodan?
What happens after this?
What does happen after that?
They
go back to Osaka and they talk about Godzilla being there. And then, like, that's when they get all the character moments after that and a bunch of character stuff. And then Godzilla shows up in Osaka Bay and they do a whole blackout on
They sure fucking did.
Yeah.
Look, it's a great scene. It really is. There's a lot of musical metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but that's
Sure.
what I'm going to call it.
Makes sense. I know what you're talking about.
It's the main two, and they're dancing, and it's a song. It's a love song, but it's like a morbid love song.
I would call it morbid. I would definitely say like a
darker love song.
Dark, but I think like bittersweet kind of.
Yeah, bittersweet love song.
Yeah.
And it really does. It leads into this moment where everything goes quiet. You know, lights cut off and stuff like that, and like the alarm starts sounding that Godzilla's in the area and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's really, really good stuff. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely perfect. The panic, it was crazy, and then seeing Godzilla and Anguirus come out and stuff like that, and they started fighting and stuff like that. The whole thing was fine. And I make jokes about these two going at it, you know, but it was totally fine. It's definitely a more. I think you've made the comparison before. I don't know if about like how modern day or at least like Showa to Heisei monster fights are very much just big monster wrestling.
Yeah.
But this isn't. This was definitely it
very
felt like
animalistic.
Yeah, very
Very animalistic.
very animalistic. By the way, one of my favorite jokes that you made is that at one point it was like, "Oh, this is what it's like if two hand puppets started fighting each other."
Yeah, because it was two hand puppets fighting each other.
It really was like this. No.
So funny.
I have a answer to your production
To which one?
for when it went into production.
Oh yeah.
It was literally a few weeks after the first movie was released in November 1954.
They were like,
at a
"This shit
welcome
rocks."
home party held for the executive producer, and that he instructed the producer to produce a sequel because of how well the first one did in the box office.
See, told you.
Awesome.
And they were like,
Okay,
"Yeah, we
that-
want to ride the high of the first one's success."
Perfect.
Yeah.
And they did.
And
And they did. They wrote it.
Oh, they sure. Oh, I guess they did write it, and they just kept writing it and writing it, writing it, writing it.
And it's been writing for 70 years.
And so, like, that's why I think this movie, its biggest problem is that it felt rushed. And the more it keeps going, even after this part right here, I think it actually still feels rushed. Even once we're like 30 minutes into the movie, which is something crazy. Like the first like big monster fight doesn't happen until like 30 minutes into the movie.
Well, they fight at the beginning.
Sure, but it's like
It's not long. I get
2-3 minutes, whatever. The first like real monster fight is like 30 minutes into the movie, and until then we just get good character stuff, good world building stuff, and then right afterwards we go to a destroyed Osaka, right?
Yeah. Well, we should probably talk about your favorite part of the movie, which was the prisoner escape scene.
Okay, go with me on this one. Okay, so it's great, isolated by itself. Until the bad thing happens, okay? Isolated by itself, seems great. It starts with like prison bus, transport bus, where
This is during the blackout.
during the blackout while Godzilla's on the rampage. I don't know why it's on the road. Who gives a fuck, right?
Well, no. They were probably transporting them, and then Godzilla came, and we're like,
Well,
well,
but
what
still.
we drop them? No, we gotta get to where we're going.
Whatever.
Or back to where we came from.
So-
and Godzilla at the point wasn't attacking yet. He was actually being led away by the flares. What they were doing was working.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's what happened, right? It just cuts randomly from Godzilla doing his thing to this like
To
truck.
this bus, yeah.
And the prisoners take control of the bus or car. They escape it. They run for like 30 years. And then
It's like 5 minutes.
it's a 10-minute scene.
It's a 10-minute scene altogether, yeah. I'll give you that. It was kind of long.
And then it leads with them, like some people driving, they find a car out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They take it.
They crash it.
And then they crash it.
And then a
into
fire
a
starts.
power plant?
It looked like an oil refinery or something like that. Something flammable. Because the big fire started, and that's what led Godzilla and Anguirus to Osaka.
What the fuck?
What do you mean?
It really is you need to go and watch the scene to kind of understand it. But what the fuck were they thinking?
What do you mean?
The
They
scene
wanted a
is so
reason
nothing.
for Anguirus and
It's
Godzilla
10
to go
minutes.
Ashore,
It's 10 fucking minutes about characters that are going to die
the main
in 10 minutes.
characters chase them.
They had no lines. They said, "Okay, get in our car,"
Yeah.
and then they chased them.
It's probably there.
Again, problem with this and a lot of other Showa movies.
You've seen 2, 3.
What's going to be a problem is that there are these weak characters that do not have development. And we spend too much time on bullshit. This was bullshit. This means nothing. It didn't lead to anything. It was just to have a thing, so that a reason for Godzilla to come on the mainland. All you had to do was rewrite this 10-minute scene to be a moment between Pilot 1 and Pilot 2, because that's who was in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Have a moment between them. Get to know each other. Hey, remember that one time back when we were flying planes? And then he's like, yeah, that was pretty fucking cool. And he's like, yeah, and then we had to pee in bottles and drink each other's piss. I don't fucking know, right? And then, right, we get this character moment, right? And then they, like they get a call from girl.
Okay.
Radio. Hey. shit happened at the oil thing. It's on fire. And they're like, what? And then they hear the alarms going. Ta-da! Now we have a reason for Godzilla to be on the mainland. Instead of wasting time with a 10-minute chase scene between characters we did not care about, there's almost no dialogue for that entire time. It's not fun. It's literally just two cars just...
And then let's do the same shot with a different car.
Different, yeah, same. See? Even you see it's bullshit.
I find the charm in it, though.
It's not charming. It's stupid.
I like to see the positives and everything.
I'm gonna put the positive in your ass. Anyway. So,
I like to needlessly hate.
Needlessly.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I love you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's all I do is needlessly hate. That's like half my comedy.
Yeah.
Dick jokes. Or needlessly hate stuff. You watch your tongue, young man. What are you laughing at?
Oh, we're still recording. Okay.
Talk!
I was making sure you're okay. You have anything else to say?
Oh, I have plenty, but I think you want to get your words in.
So, after that.
We're moving on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't done yet. No.
I'm
kidding. You're fine. Go on.
So then Godzilla and Anguirus fight, and it's a pretty cool fight. They destroy a bunch of things, and then Godzilla just kills Anguirus. Kind of anticlimactically.
He just like...
Yeah.
And like...
And then dies. I mean, if that was the end of the movie, that would be pretty good. I wouldn't mind that too much.
I wouldn't either. I thought it would have been totally fine. Just have us walk back in the ocean and then wrap it up.
Everyone's
honestly,
like, oh, thank God they ended their battle and we
honestly,
continue life.
Perfectly fine movie, 6.5 out of 10. Move on.
Yeah. Except there's another 40 minutes in the movie.
So there's like another 40, 30 minutes of the movie. And so there's only one other scene I like after this part. And it's the scene where all of our main characters, right, are at Osaka after this whole thing. And you can see like the crumble, like the rubble of their in the building that they're in.
Destroyed Osaka and they're
talking to each other.
Cannery?
But they're having nice moments with each other. They're not crying. They're not being sad. They're being hopeful that they'll be able to move on past this and keep going with their lives despite what happened. And I think it's a really hopeful thing, especially coming after 1954. Honestly, I think they should have leaned into this part more. Like, lean into... Because the first movie was a very down,
very sorrowful.
Yeah, and it's almost like presented as a horror movie. But this could have been about like the horrors of war. Yes. And the ramifications of it and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of symbolism of that. You could have made this movie a more optimistic point of view on it. Of the despite anything, we can overcome it. We can move on and stuff like that. And I wish they leaned harder into that. But instead, we get 20 more minutes of shooting Godzilla in the Arctic.
He's not in the Arctic. He's just...
I don't care where he is.
Iceberg. So... Well, I want to also mention one of my favorite parts of the movie is Pilot 2 and other girl relationship that gets...
There's a second girl?
Yeah, she's at the very beginning.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was going to do is he kind of tells the first girl that he likes her and he wants to give her a present and stuff, right? Yeah. And I think it's weird that she never comes back after the first scene. They
couldn't pay her.
What?
Nothing, honey.
It was kind of weird that she doesn't come back ever. And I really wish because he leaves to go find Godzilla and then doesn't come back. Right. It would have been kind of cool to be like, oh man, I did actually like him too, kind of moment, and be like, oh, what could have been, But they didn't really do that. They holding hands.
They could have done this.
They
a little bit of tango, a little bit of
that's so sweet.
A little bit of shimmy.
I hope they can see that.
No, they don't. But I'm just being weird. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, but so we'll just go into the last bit. The climax of this movie is them just shooting ice next to Godzilla and then burying him. Look, which is not a bad idea for a
a 5-minute scene.
5-minute scene, yeah, where
But it's
Godzilla's
like-
getting buried, but it is like literally the last 20 minutes of this movie is planes just shooting.
It just kept
Ice.
going and going and going and going and going.
Well, this is also the first movie where they mention Godzilla's atomic breath that I know of, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they don't even talk about him breathing any kind of fire in the first movie.
Sure.
At least not in the Japanese version. And is the first time they call it atomic breath, and it's the first time he actually has like a beam in some scenes, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So it's
I thought the action was totally fine.
Mhm.
It was,
except for the last scene.
Huh?
Except for the last scene.
Except for the last scene. Other than that, the action was fine. I'm just. You want to wrap it up?
Sure,
Get to the main topic I want to talk about.
Okay, sure. I mean, this was the main topic.
I mean, the other main point of this.
Yeah. The other point is,
I think this movie was totally fine. We had a great time watching it.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. We made good jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for political Yoda.
Political, yeah. If you want to see some political Yoda, I don't think I'm gonna do it here on YouTube.
No, God, no.
But
No.
if you find that intriguing in any way, please go look at our commentary. It's
It's
I thought it was
fun.
pretty good. It was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
I want to close this movie off with talking about an argument that me and you've had off the podcast and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And something that I want to make sure I bring up and stuff is that the eras of Tokusatsu, there's 3 main eras as of right now, right? We have the Showa era. This is your classical stuff. For Godzilla, it's everything we've been talking about so far.
1954 to 75.
Yeah, and then and then there's the Heisei era.
Mhm.
It's kind of confusing where the Showa era and the Heisei era like ends off because Godzilla and like our superhero Tokusatsu have different dates for those, but roughly it's like 90s.
80s, 90s, like late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, and
From the
to
2000s.
to the 2010 past the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And then right now we are in the Reiwa era.
Yeah.
Which started in 2019, I believe.
That sounds about right.
So
Maybe, yeah.
so going into our topic, I don't like Showa. And this
We can
has
tell.
been a big problem I've had, and I want to make sure that it's clear. It's not that I hate Showa. I don't hate Showa.
You just hate me.
I just hate most of it. No.
Because I love Showa. I think there's a lot of charm to it. It's very goofy most of the time, and I like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So Showa is definitely for me. It is not for you.
Sure. And
You like more story, more
character stuff. Yeah,
and
and
more of a serious tone.
and I don't need a serious tone.
No,
That's
more of a serious tone. I'm talking about. Not necessarily like there is serious moments. In a lot of Godzilla movies, there's just like not serious moments in it. And it's also like Ultraman. I would probably some.
See, that's I don't think so. And here's why.
Okay.
One of my favorite seasons is Power Rangers is Ninja Storm. It's all goof. I like goofy stuff. What I don't like is bad pacing in anything I watch.
Mm.
And it just so happens during the Showa era, I get what they're going for. They're trying to be atmospheric with some of the shots, right? Because of limited technology. They were trying, or film was still, semi-new at the time. There's... I get it, right? Or they're on a low budget. I understand.
Yeah.
I get it. I know what they're going for. But it's 1954, and I've seen things where I am now that are made like Showa stuff. Godzilla -1 is a perfect example of this. I think it's a very good example of what modern Showa feeling Tokusatsu could feel like. It has a lot of there are literally scenes ripped from multiple Godzilla movies that I've seen before.
In -1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in this movie, there were very similar things to it. There was the whole, romance thing that was going on.
Mhm.
There was the buddy stuff. You could have translated that to the crew,
Okay.
the fishing crew. I'm saying that it has that feel to me.
Okay.
And but it's paced better. And it has the ability to be atmospheric in modern day, whereas they didn't. And I can look past that if movies and shows in the show era had just better pacing overall. But the problem is that even when they're being atmospheric, scenes will drag on 2 to 10 seconds too long. And that's if you do that multiple times during a movie, it adds up to multiple minutes, 10, 20 minutes of the movie just doing nothing. It's we both agree that the last 20 minutes of this movie was bad, right?
Yes.
Most of it was spent watching plastic tanks and planes shoot at Godzilla, and Godzilla going, ah. We watched it happen, what, 5 times each?
Yeah. Yes, at least. Probably more.
I think we get the message on the first one. I don't need you to re-show me the shot again for me to get the idea that I'm shooting Godzilla.
You're gonna have such a hard time with show movies.
I know.
There's multiple 10-minute scenes of tanks firing at monsters.
I'm okay with being wrong about this. I'm totally okay. But I'm not
gonna say you're wrong about it. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. If you don't like this kind of stuff, then show is just not for you. You're not gonna like it. You should go to the show movies.
And that's kind of the thing, is that I don't want people to be like, oh, I hope he dies in a pit for not liking.
Probably will.
Patreon.com/Tokunommentaries so you can pay for my pit.
Comment and tell them what kind of pit, how deep the pit you want it to be. What should be filled into the pit after he is in it.
You want to talk about more higher things? Nice or fun things?
A little bit. I want to get into one more thing. About
go for it.
So first of all, please support the physical release of these movies. It is... It super helps the franchise, and we have the Criterion Collection that came out not too long ago, so that's a perfect one to go with.
We watched it on HBO Max.
Yes, we did, but that's only I have the physical version. We couldn't have it with our setup.
Yeah, it's just how we record the stuff and stuff like that.
So, but it is you should buy it, and kind of going into that too. -1 just came out as of recording this, came out in Japan on Amazon Prime and Blu-ray and DVD, and a lot of people overseas are pirating it. It's a really, really bad. And I get it. It's a great movie. People want to watch it, and I think they should release it internationally, and I know they will.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be a mistake if they
I don't know why they wouldn't. But you just gotta be patient, and pirating does hurt it. It doesn't feel like it's not a victimless crime. It does hurt the franchise. It does hurt the IP.
And I don't want this to be this is not just a Godzilla thing.
Yes,
I think this is a overall media thing. That's why we try to make sure that all of our commentary tracks are ease of access. The ones that we there are some that we don't have access to.
Yeah.
King Oger was an example, right?
Yeah.
Tokusatsu Gaga was an example.
That was a big one, yeah.
But King Oger was recent. We wanted to make sure that we got that out when it ended. And then Tokusatsu Gaga just presented a good conversation point for us, and we want to spread that message.
But whenever we can buy a physical release of something, we always do.
We always do. And even if we can't buy a physical release of it, if it's just on streaming service and stuff like that, just going to that streaming service
and giving it a view is
more than enough.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, especially when it comes to Godzilla will do fine. I think we'll do fine.
Oh, but I'm not going to destroy the franchise, but
Sentai and Kamen Rider, those have been notorious for being hard to get here in the United States. And as such, I think it's important that we go out as a community and support those official releases in any way we can. That's why I really stress during our Kamen Rider Geeks pod to go and check out Tokusatsu, because they did it, and not only did they do it, but they did it for a recent Kamen Rider series, which is kind of insane. Seeing stuff like Kuga and Ryuki get made, or just the original Kamen Rider series, that all kind of makes sense, right? That's older stuff, but that was like Geats came out, what, 7 months after ending? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I never expected that. It was definitely not on my bucket list.
Yeah, if you like to see that kind of thing, like, if studios in Japan see that people overseas are really wanting to purchase, like, Japanese media, they're gonna do more things like this.
Yeah, and so helping us help you, help us.
Help us.
Help them, help us. Buy it.
Yes. Please just buy official
if
releases.
you can, please support the official releases of products.
Yes.
You want to get on higher notes?
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about something. We're going to Power Morphicon! Woo! Ben?
What?
Woo?
Woo.
Woo! There you go.
Nice.
So, I like how you looked like,
Oh shit, that was loud.
So,
Sorry for our headphone users on there.
we're going to Power Morphicon. Now, we've been going to Power Ranger conventions, me and you. We've gone to Ranger Stop every single year for the past, 3 years?
Sure.
And we've had a, huh?
I've lost count. I slept since then.
Yeah. It's been a blast every time, right?
Yeah.
I go to conventions a lot. They're just my favorite things to do during the summer. We take road trips, all that kind of stuff.
Good times.
But I hear a lot of people, and I invite a lot of people to conventions, but I get asked a lot of questions. What's it like going to a convention? What do I do? What are things that I can expect? How do I act around Jason Font when he's so handsome? If you ask any of these questions,
If you've been there.
join the Discord because we need to talk about Jason Font. No.
Please, I would love to talk about Jason Font. The handsome man.
I want to help people because I've been going to conventions for almost 10 years now. It's a thing we do every single year. Is go to multiple conventions and hang out and do all sorts of stuff. So I kind of want to go into con etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
And once we get closer to Power Morphicon, I would love to tell some of our stories for some of them. But I want to make sure people get prepared and get this out there because we are right around con season.
Getting there.
So the summer's going to be huge. There's a lot of big names coming to Power Morphicon and stuff like that. And we want to make sure people know what they're getting into going into Power Morphicon and other conventions this summer. You ready?
Sure. You
Real
take
quick.
the stage.
Let's get into the number one thing. Buy your fucking tickets early.
That's a good idea.
Don't get them day of.
Mm-hmm.
You will be in especially if you attend all 3 days. If you're going all 3 or 4 days, if you're there day one and you don't have your shit ready, you are not going to be attending the con that day. Your time, depending on which one, will be spent in line.
Yes.
Buy your goddamn tickets early.
Probably a good idea. Not even just con
Not only-
that's just a tip.
That's just a tip. That's the other thing too. It's like not just etiquette, but just like tips and stuff like that. Buy your goddamn tickets early. Because not only will you have your stuff ready to go, so you can just wait in line and get your stuff, go.
Mm-hmm.
But more than likely, most cons will price them lower beforehand. And once you get there, they'll be $10-$20 more, depending on the con you're going to. It could be even more. And if you want some of the more exclusive things to do, that could cost a pretty penny, or they might get sold out. Quit fucking on the table.
I can't help it. Why again?
You both kicked it.
I'm sorry, it's there, and my feet are next to it.
Just continue. Just go.
Sorry.
You want to touch toes?
We'll interlock our toes together like we're holding hands, but it's our feet.
Behind the scenes footage you can find it later.
So,
We got our foot cam going up. Patreon.com.
Patreon.com/Tokunommentaries for foot cam.
It's
Going
only
soon.
foot.
It's just our feet. So, going back into the con stuff.
Footnommentaries. That's our fans.
Stop it. Going into con stuff, other things you should consider are the special events that you would want to go and tend to. For an example, Ranger Stop and Power Morphicon hold special dinners and breakfasts where you can pay X amount of money and go eat breakfast and dinner or lunch or whatever with the guests that are coming to the event and stuff like that, which would be a really, really cool moment. We haven't done that, but I've heard great...
Poor.
Yeah, because we're poor. Patreon.com.
But you can fix that.
But,
Let us have breakfast with Jason Font.
what I would do. What I would do to be a fat fuck around Jason Font.
Are you gonna eat your omelet, Jason?
I want clip this, send it to Jason Font.
Better yet, just send the entirety of everything we've done to Jason Font.
Please, man, if Jason Font sees this,
I
comment,
love
Jason
you.
Font. we love you.
But it's if you want to experience that, getting those early because they'll sell out fast. You need to do that and stuff like that. And also, if you're one of those special few that just has a ton of money to spend, and you want a special guest to come to the convention, sometimes they do that. I would check out your local con and try to help do that and stuff like that. Like Power Morphicon, you have an option to sponsor a guest. Now I don't know what the lengths of that go to, but there have already been some that have been announced for them. And I mean, it's crazy to see it. Like Ranger Stop, they have Peter Sodarso as one of the sponsor guests, and I believe that was due to like just fans wanting him and supporting him.
That's neat.
So I think that's really rad.
That is pretty rad.
So it's stuff like that.
Pretty rad.
Let's go into the actual con.
Okay.
Typically, cons go for 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If you can only go one of the days, Christian, which one day do you go?
Saturday.
Saturday is the correct answer.
I have a 33% chance to get that right.
Now, here's the thing. Saturday is the best day usually to go, but it is also the busiest day. So you need to keep that in mind if you want to see certain guests and stuff like that, to go early on so you can guarantee that you're not there dead inside when you meet the voice actor for Cat Noir.
Were you dead inside when you were the voice actor for Cat Noir?
I was very much dead inside.
He was.
I was so tired. He was so nice. He was so goddamn nice. He's so cool. He was such full of energy, but I was so tired because I'd been standing in his line for 3 hours.
Mr. Voice of Cat Noir, can I please just take a nap underneath your table?
Let me take a little cat nap.
Cat nap. That's funny. That was a good one, Finn. 2 cups for Finn.
Oh, you're coming back in now?
Other than that, just some other things to keep in mind as well. They do bag checks and stuff like that, but con snacks and drinks and stuff like that can be very expensive and stuff like that, so make sure that you have snacks, water. God, please have some fucking water.
No, we don't need no heat strokes.
Don't have a heat stroke because it can get hot.
It gets steamy in there.
Yeah.
Especially around Jason Font.
Let's talk about before we go into guests.
Why are we going into Jason Font?
We're not going in Jason Font.
No.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jason.
I'm sorry for these two.
I'm sorry, Mr. Font.
I love you from afar.
That's a lie, and you know it.
I love you from any distance you prefer me to be at. Probably further away than it was at the beginning of this podcast.
We're gonna get into so much stuff. They're gonna hate us, you know that, right? Like Power Ranger actors, if we actually become something, they're gonna fucking hate us, right?
What do we do?
Make fun of them. That's our entire job is to make fun of people.
Oh well.
Comedy!
If you're a Power Ranger actor, please comment below and make fun of Christian. Anyways,
It's all me. I
all...
script everything.
I actually have the script up on the computer screen at all times.
I wrote it all, so it's all me. What's our next line?
Oh yeah, Jason Potts hot.
It's the kissing scene. Well, okay then.
Okay. The script says so. The script knows all.
So, going into other things at conventions and with that, you'll see a lot of cosplayers. I know this is going to sound crazy, but cosplayers are people. Be shocked.
What?
And I know. And
I thought they were just cringe.
Cosplayers have feelings, wants, desires, dreams, boundaries even. God forbid. And so, if you think someone looks really cool in their cosplay and you want to meet them, talk to them, take a picture with them, go up to them, ask nicely if you could take a picture with them, and then awkwardly figure out.
Yeah, awkward. That's where the awkward part starts. You don't know if you should touch them or get that close to them, or if you want to be like away.
Hey,
whatever.
You know what my go-to pose is?
I usually look this up. Or like that.
Or like the peace sign if you're cringe, like Finn.
Yeah. What's that?
Jesus, man.
Jesus, man.
Hit him with the good old Jesus, man, and you can move on with your day.
Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man.
Alright. Other than that, let's talk about guests.
Mm-hmm.
Guests are the big thing, especially for us when we go to.
Yeah, it's like the most important thing.
It's like the most important thing for us, right? When we go to Power Morphicon and Ranger Stomp and stuff like that, we're of course looking to meet some of our heroes and stuff like that. One, you might be nervous, especially because they're childhood heroes. Might be nervous to talk to them. I promise you, they've met people more nervous and more awkward than you could possibly be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His name is Christian.
That's supposed to mean.
I'm sorry. His name is Dustin. and he confessed his love to Catherine Sutherland. And valid. Who hasn't?
That'll be me with Hunter Dino.
Yeah. And like, listen.
Who did I confess my love to? Dan Southworth.
Dan Southworth.
That's what it was.
Look, so don't be nervous. Just be like, hey, and if you don't have a conversation or anything like that, hey, how's your convention coming? Thanks for being out here. Thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah.
You did awesome. You're part of my childhood and stuff like that. They've heard all those things a million times, and I'm going to say 99% of the time, they are totally cool with you saying that again.
Yeah. And what I've noticed is like I'm with people where I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say when I get up there, you know?
Yeah.
They'll carry the conversation. They're really good.
They're really good at their stuff.
Oh yeah. Ian Sinclair, he's great at doing that.
Yeah, there have been so many actors that we've met and stuff like that, who have just been super duper all stars, and talking and stuff like that.
Talking to you, Jason Fon.
Brandon was good. Aaron Cahill.
Oh, yes.
I can
you
only
know what?
talk about
Honestly,
Jones is great.
honestly, the entire Time Force cast is really solid.
Yeah,
I would go. Yeah.
I don't think I've met a Ranger that I haven't enjoyed talking to.
Yeah, all the Ranger actors that we've met so far have been pretty cool people. They want to talk to you about stuff. They want to talk about the show. They want to talk to you. And, like, even if they don't make time for you because they're so busy and stuff like that, they're busy.
Yeah.
It's not that they're trying to be dicks. They're just busy.
And they know everyone behind you wants to see them just as much as you do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Don't take it to heart. It'll be all right. Other than that, be prepared weeks early and keep up with their announcements and stuff like that of guests, because around the time of guest announcements, they will also announce the pricing for the stuff. So if you want a photo taken and a signature or whatever, you need to be able to pay for those things. Make sure you budget. We'll talk about budgeting when we get to vendors. Oh God. So, with that in mind, last two things is events at the convention.
Mm-hmm.
In every convention ever, there will be panels.
I love panels.
I like going to panels. It's probably my third favorite thing besides vendors.
Never been.
You've never been to a panel?
Nope.
If you ever
have you been to a convention? Yeah. You've been to a convention. Yeah, you've been with us. I forgot. Yeah,
it's like watching them talk, but you're sitting in the room.
Well, I know that. I've just never gone to any of the panels. Because a lot of times
usually they're pretty fun.
They don't have ones that I want to go to.
That's fair. But they usually play games sometimes.
Yeah, they're doing fun stuff. They're doing interview questions,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So one of our favorite one is probably the Time Force one.
Yeah, sure.
Or the Forever Red one.
That one was good.
That one was a good one.
I like the Megaforce one too.
The Megaforce one was actually really fun.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that much going into it, and I was like, that was a really fun panel.
Yeah, they were great.
They were awesome people.
Yeah, and yeah. Good people, and if you want to go to those panels and stuff like that, please understand the difference between a large convention and a small convention. If you're at Ranger Stop, that's a small convention. If you're at Power Morphicon, that's a big convention. If you think a panel will have a shit ton of people at it, for an example, Forever Red, the Mighty Morphin stuff, if there's a whole team there,
oh yeah,
please be at your panel early before it starts.
Make sure to be in the back and you have to use your binoculars.
Or they might just run out of seats. That happens a lot more than you think it does. So
yeah, some of those rooms aren't huge.
Yeah. So plan ahead. Make sure you're on time for stuff. Plan your days ahead. That really does make a difference. And also, if you're doing photo ops and stuff like that, be prepared for that as well.
Yes.
For example, I went to Anime Expo.
Yeah.
Last year, and I wanted to attend a bunch of panels, and I missed every single one of them.
Oh, that's so sad.
Because they were either full, I didn't make it on time, and that's it. There are no other reasons. Or my timing just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Planning ahead is important. So before the event, they usually already announce stuff like 2-3 weeks ahead. Plan ahead, make a schedule for yourself. It helps out a lot.
Yes. Very much so.
Last thing. Oh God. It's the fucking vendor room.
Oh, the vendors! I do like the vendors. They're always so fun.
Honestly, besides the guests, it's the main other thing that you come for the conventions for.
The
vendors and Artist Alley. If you've never been to a convention, what it is just a shit ton of booths of either companies or one-off artists or creators and stuff like that, and they set up booths for you to come and buy their shit from. This is the number one thing people usually come for. Some people come for, and it's, let's just be honest, it's a death trap for your wallet.
Yeah, be careful.
Please be careful. Budget well. Prepare yourself, because if you think, I'll only buy one or two things, you're a fool.
You'll at least come out with 10.
Yeah, you will come out with more, or you will be upset that you didn't budget enough.
And you live with that regret of, man, I should have got that more for... I shouldn't have bought all 5 of those Kamen Rider belts. What have I done? That's you!
That's
I'm talking
me.
about you.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, other than that, that's really it.
Mm-hmm.
Hang out with people. Go with friends.
Oh yeah, it's a blast.
Even if they don't like the convention you're going to. I've gone to, plenty of conventions with people that aren't as nerdy as I am, but they've always had a blast, know, and
just like hanging out with people.
Yeah, it's a really fun time. Cosplay if you want to. no matter how great or how shitty it is, cosplaying is so much fun, and it's just this great community. And it's just so much fun being surrounded by people that also love the nerdy stuff that you love. Conventions are my favorite thing. I can't wait to get into convention stories later in like a few months or so when we talk about it. But we want to post this really early on, con season ahead. And of course, the number one thing, be mindful of others. Please be safe. You know, and just be a good person. Don't be an asshole.
Typically, if you just don't, act respectful.
Yeah.
In most ways, you should be fine.
You're also forgetting the second most important thing.
Oh.
Wear deodorant.
Oh, I almost forgot. I apologize. Thank you so much, Finn. You with me?
I'm with you.
Body spray is not a shower. Look at me. Don't look at the side videos. Don't look at the comments. Don't click off your Discord. Come back to me if you're not looking at me right now. Come back. Look at me.
If you're on your phone, zoom in on him as well.
Zoom in on me.
Yeah, zoom.
Body spray is not a shower. Deodorant is not a shower. Clean your stanky asses. And if I see any of you gross out Gokai Pink at Power Morphic Con, it's on-site Scrabble. With that in mind, got anything else?
I think we covered most of it.
Patreon.com/Tokunommentaries, where you can see the commentary tracks for, of course, Godzilla Raids Again, and all the other stuff we're doing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, talk about all sorts of stuff. I got nothing else. Christian?
I think we're all good.
Finn?
No, we're good.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.